Hi, you guys. This is Mrs. Boland with your notes for section 3.2. Today we are going to be solving inequalities, which is very similar to solving equations. So on that note, here our warm-up is just a little bit of a review from solving equations. Remember, we want to say where they're balanced, okay? And then once we know that they're balanced, we know that we need to do the same thing to each side. I always want to cancel out or do the opposite inverse operation of whatever's stuck to the x, because my goal is always to get the x by itself and try to figure out what it is. So in this case, x just equals 1. For question number 2, I need to do the opposite of minus 9, which is plus 9 on both sides. So y is equal to 14. For number 3, I want to do the opposite of whatever's stuck to y, but here's the y, you guys. So it's not the 6, it's going to be the 4. So I want to do the opposite of plus 4, which is going to be minus 4 on both sides. So we get y is equal to 2. Question number 4, again, the y is over here. So I want to see what's happening to y. Well, there's a minus 11, so I do the opposite, which is plus 11. So y is equal to negative 1. Remember that when our signs are opposite, that means that they're canceling out. So I subtract them to see how many is left over after they've all canceled. And there's one extra negative left over. Okay, question number, just kidding, notes. So whenever we're solving an inequality, and remember, an inequality is when things are not equal. So instead of being perfectly equal, it means that one side's either greater than or less than the other side. So we're going to just be using addition, subtraction like normal in our inequality, the same way that we did it in our equations. Okay, so we're still going to use inverse operations, and we still leave the sign alone, whether it's greater than or less than, or if it has the equal to, and then we're going to graph them just like yesterday. So here's some practice problems. We are going to add 6 to both sides. So we have x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So to graph that, I have my students start with 0 in the middle, negative 1, and we'll go in the positive direction. And then we always start by putting a circle on whatever number we have. And then we say, is it equal to? Could it be equal to negative 4? Well, yeah, because it has a little equal to. So that means if that's one of my solutions, I can color in that circle. Sorry, that's a ginormous circle. And then I look at the direction. This says x is greater than. So it's eating x, meaning x is all the values that are bigger than negative 4, which is this direction. You can also use the secret shortcut of, as long as the letter comes first, you can turn the greater than less sign into an arrow and it tells you which way to go. Okay, question number 2. Remember, if I'm going too fast, just hit pause on me. Slow me down. If I'm going too slow, speed me up. That's the beauty of YouTube, right? Okay, next question. If I want to get rid of this minus 2, I'm going to add 2 on both sides. So b is greater than negative 7. Remember, when the signs are opposites, they cancel. So 9 take away 2, there would be 7 extra negatives. You could say, who's winning, the positives or the negatives? The negative team is up by 7, okay? So I'm going to put, this one's kind of far away from 0. I'm still going to put 0 there. I'm just going to put negative 7 down here. Again, it's not an even distance or whatever. I'm more concerned about, do you know what side of 0 a negative 7 is on a number line? Okay, and so I'm going to put an open circle at negative 7, and then b is greater than, so again, we go to the right. It is not equal to 7, so I don't color that point in. It's just all the values that are greater than negative 7. Again, the b comes first, so you can use the secret shortcut, and it tells you to go to the right. Okay, question number 3. This one, we're going to do the opposite of plus 8, which would be minus 8 on both sides. So y, oops, sorry, look at me. I almost wrote equals to. Y is less than negative 3. So remember, we subtract them when the signs are different. Keep the sign of the bigger one. Or you can think about writing 5 little pluses and then 8 little negatives. And then there's 3 negatives left over after the other 5 cancel. So I'm going to go 0. I'm going to put my circle at negative 3. And then I look, is it equal to? No, it's not. Look, check back at the beginning because sometimes I copy it wrong or whatever. So check back at the beginning, not equal to, so we leave it an open circle. Y is less than, so that means to the left. You also could use the secret shortcut since the Y is first and the arrow tells us go to the left. Okay. Question number 4. Same steps, -5, -5. Anytime my signs are the same, I just add them all up. So if I have 3 negatives and 5 negatives, that's 8 negatives altogether. So again, this is one where 8 is kind of far away from 0. So I'm just going to put it over here. I'm going to put an open circle and then I'm going to look, could it be equal to 8? Yes. So that's how I know we color it in, because if it can be equal to 8, that's included in our solution. And then K is less than, so we go to the left. Again, you can, because the K comes first, you can use the arrow that way. For question number 5, you have $15 to spend on groceries. So if you only have $15, you can spend less than that. You just can't spend more than it. So I already have $12.25 worth of groceries in my cart. Plus I can get a certain amount more that I don't know. All I know is it has to be less than or equal to $15. Okay, because if I've only got $15, I cannot go over that. So minus $12.25 minus $12.25. So we get X is less than or equal to $2.75. So again, I just put a 0 there. I'd put $2.75. I'd have my students draw a circle. Because it could be equal to, because it could be equal to, we color it in. And then X is less than, so we go to the left. Now here's an interesting question. All of our other ones, that would make sense for, but I guess you could technically spend negative money if you started putting things back in your cart. Technically, you would spend anywhere between 0 and $2.75. It wouldn't go on forever in the negative direction. So that's an interesting one to think about. But yeah, for the purposes of today, just know that it goes to the left. All right, question number 6. Write a sentence as an inequality, then solve the inequality. A number, and so since they don't tell us what number it is, we don't write a number. You could use N for number, or I like to just use X. Minus 3 is at least -5. So that means it has to be bigger than or equal to -5. So I know it feels weird to see the word least and write a greater than sign. Okay, at least means that it could be this or more. So go back and check your notes from the previous day. Remember on page 39, there's this whole chart that shows the words and what sign you would use. Okay, and your quiz is going to be open notes, so you can use that as well. Okay, so then we're just going to solve this one. Plus 3, so X is greater than or equal to -2. So 0, -1, -2. So I'm going to put an open circle here, and then I'm going to look up and I'm going to see, could it be equal to -2? Yes. So I color it in, and then X is greater than, so it goes to the right. Again, you could use the secret shortcut on both of these problems to know which way to go. All right, we're going to get started on the odd numbered homework problems. So question number 1 is we're going to solve and graph. Okay, the S is on this side this time, so +8 plus 8. So I have S is greater than or equal to 9. If you want to rewrite it with the letter first, you can. You do not have to. But remember, the alligator is eating the S. So make sure that when you rewrite it, the alligator is still eating the S. So for my students, I'd put a 0 there. I'd put a 9 there. We always put a circle. We check to see, is it equal to? Yes. So I color it in. And then S is greater than, or you can, again, use the little arrow trick and it goes to the right. All right, we're going to skip number 2, but the problem is pretty similar. You're just going to add 12 on both sides. Question number 3, there's our Y. I'm going to -8 on both sides. So I get -16 is less than or equal to Y. If you want to write the letter first, just make sure the alligator is still eating it. So I'm going to put 0. I'm going to put -16 somewhere down here. I'm going to put the circle at 16 and then equal to. So yes, I color it in, and Y is greater than. So again, the arrow tells us to go to the right. Okay, we're going to skip number 4 and go on to question number 5. This one we can simplify a little bit first. 1 take away 12 is negative 11. We've got negative 5. So then I'm going to add 11 on both sides. So I get y is greater than or equal to 6. Remember, when my signs are opposite, I subtract them and keep the sign of the bigger number. So I'm going to put 0. I'm going to put a 6 over here. I'm going to put a circle. It's equal to, so I color it in. And then y is greater than. So we're going that direction. Okay. Question number 7. A number, again, when we don't know what the number is, you could write x or n. Minus 6 is at least, so greater than or equal to negative 5. And then we want to solve it, plus 6 on both sides, so x is greater than or equal to 1. Make sure that you guys are hitting pause on me to try the problem first, and then check your work, okay? I'm going to put 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a circle at positive 1. X is greater than, and it's or equal to, so I can color it in. Okay, question number 9. We're skipping number 8. It says, describe and correct the error in solving the inequality. And then let's fix it, okay? So this one, they added 14 on both sides, so they just got the x, and that does indeed make negative 3. The alligator's eating the x, but so let's rewrite it with the x first. So I'm going to write x. The alligator's eating the x, so when I rewrite it, I need to make sure that it's still eating it. Well, the way we read this is that x is bigger than negative 3, so it should have gone that direction. Okay, so if you want to write it down here, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, they were correct. It's an empty circle, or open circle, I don't color it in. But because it's eating the x, that means all the values that are bigger than negative 3, and you can see that that's the way our arrow points us as well. That's it for your notes for 3.2. Have a great day.